Amstrad CPC means a lot to me. Will you come and see how I play Desi? If you're in love with retro gaming, come and join the board. And if you want a Friday foursome, watch him and you could. Novabug.
How you doing, everyone? Novabug here, and welcome back to the Bug Loft, where we're going to have another little chat about complete collections. So this is something that's not a new thing amongst game collectors, amongst retro collectors certainly, and it's the desire to collect a full set of a certain particular label or title on any given platform. I've seen full sets completed on Master Systems. I think Cybersnake has done one. Pretty masterful the way he did that. I've seen full sets of Mega Drive collections, full sets of Wii U collections. Finn Gamer, for instance, has done a full Wii U collection. Something that I actually am still trying to work on myself is to get a good, decent, almost full collection of Wii U games. But the ones that really interest me are, of course, the older ones, the 8-bits, and you've probably heard, I mean, if you're familiar with the retro gaming YouTubers and collectors and stuff like that, the Hit Squad collection. Here's an example here of a Hit Squad game. So these were budget re-releases that came out back in the day for the Commodore, for the Amstrad, and for the Spectrum, of course. And yeah, the Hit Squad releases are very, very popular nowadays to collect the full set of Hit Squad releases, which is a nice little thing to do. Excuse me, while I have a bit of a burp. Sorry about that. Oh, a bit of wind. Rainbow Island's giving me a bit of wind. So yeah, I'm not going to go for a full set of Hit Squads, but it's nice to sort of pick them up. They do look good on the shelf, I must admit. Them very familiar sort of spines always look pretty good. So, so I think Mr. Bads is doing. He did one for the Spectrum. I know that. I think he's doing one for the Amstrad as well. But I think he completed his Spectrum one. I'm sure he did. And there's many others doing Hit Squad collections. There's also people doing other full collections of, say, for instance, Codemasters is a popular one. You have a full Codemasters set. I know there's a few rare titles in there, very difficult to get hold of. And also there is Kix as well, Kixx, which I believe Ash81 Before You is doing. I commented on one of his videos the other day, and he's going for a full Kix set. With the Kix set, of course, I think they changed the label a couple of times during the run, so that's slightly annoying when they do that. But I'm going to go for a full collection as well. And people that watch the channel regularly and watch the streams know what I'm going for, and I thought I'd go for something a little bit different, something that doesn't really register on a lot of people. And this production house, this publishing house, very quite important in the British gaming, certainly the budget range of gaming in Britain, and they're not really spoken of a lot, and I think I'm going to highlight them quite a bit, because yes, their games weren't of the highest of quality, but they did a awful lot of budget games, many of them for $1.99 or $2.99. So if you wanted to play a game for cheap, you went to this software house. You really did. And they were in direct competition with the likes of Mastertronic as well, which were, you know, a budget range doing the same kind of thing. Not many people think of them, but and unbelievably enough, they are still going to this day. They are still operating this. I think they do mobile platform games and tablet games nowadays. I think they do a few console games as well, download only, but they're still running and they're still British. And that is Alternative Software. And here is Sooty and Sweep being run on the Amstrad at the back behind me. And Alternative Software, all their cassettes look pretty much the same. I'll give you the legendary Count Duckula. So that's what they look like. So they all have this kind of yellow and blue sash at the top, with certainly the orange sash at the top with the blue logo, with the AS Alternative Software in the top. They also always have a code number on the side, a bit like the Hit Squads do. So they have a production number and they have a running order of them. And this is a particularly good example of a quality, not the game. The game's not quality, trust me, it's not. But the cassette is in actually really absolutely perfect condition. The case of it, the sleeve of it, and of course the all-important cassette as well. So it's all so I'm really after really good condition versions of these, and I've got a fair few already. These are my tested ones so far, and then this is by no means my full alternative software collection what I've got so far. I've got a load over there as well. I think I've got about 25 in total at the moment, and I've still got more on the way. And there's a couple there. Punch and Judy, rubbish. Official Father Christmas, kids game, not rubbish I would say, but just easy. Big Trouble in Little China, absolute terrible. Thomas the Tank Engine, it's okay. The Monsters, meh. And Huxley Pig, meh. I mean, none of these games are going to blow your socks off, trust me. A few of them actually are pretty good. But a lot of them are either re-releases of prior games. So Big Trouble in Little China I know is a re-release. It's a budget re-release. But also they do original software as well. So what they would do is, like Mastertronic I think and a couple of other software houses at the time, they would get people to send in their games, you know, the home brewers and the students and the kids working at home on their Speckies and their Amstrads and stuff and their Commodores. And they would send the games in, and if Alternative liked them, they would publish them. And that's what got done. So their games are a mixture of original games on their label and a mixture of re-releases as well. And there's a few good ones here. Good examples. Microball, for instance, is a particularly decent pinball game. Dead or Alive, a Western game. Rally Driver, something, you know. Gunboat, which is like a strategy kind of game kind of thing. Gilbert, do you remember Gilbert from the old giant flying trash can Saturday morning thing? Gilbert with the snotty nose alien. You know, these are mad retro references. Really cool. Oh, look at that one. There you go. Super Ted. That again, another particularly good example of one being in very, very good condition. There. So yeah, I am attempting to collect all the alternative software titles. That is my my Amstrad collection goal. I generally collect anything Amstrad that I don't have. I just pick it up if it's going and it's at a reasonable price. I'll pick it up. Because I'm just expanding the Amstrad collection. But one thing I'm particularly focusing on is the alternative software range. And I've reached out to alternative software as well on Twitter, and they have very kindly said that once things get going after this old pandemic jobby, what's going on, they can dig me out a list that they might have from years back, a full list of what they released on the Amstrad back in the day. And that would be amazing to have, because I've searched high and low on the internet, and there's a few bits written about alternative software. But there's not a definitive list of all the games that were released on the platform. There are lists out there on Wikipedia and CPC Power and stuff, but they're short. I've noticed that they're short. They're not complete. They're not full of all the titles. Certain titles that I've got that are not listed on those particular lists that they've got on them websites. So to get a full list from Alternative themselves would be probably the best thing I could possibly ever hope for, to get a full collection. And I know there's a lot. I do know there's a lot. I am not sure of the number. I want to say in excess of 50. I want to guess it's around about that, but there is a lot of them around, and some of them are quite rare to get hold of as well, and so they're the ones that are going to obviously set me back a few pennies. But it's an interesting phenomenon, the full set collection in the 8-bit sphere. I love seeing full collections of Hit Squad and Codemasters and all that kind of stuff, and I did want to do one myself, but I thought, you know what, I need to be, I'm the Novabug, so I've got to do something alternative. And alternative software, just the obvious choice for me. Something weird and something I don't think anybody has ever attempted to do, is to get a full collection of alternative software games. So I will be keeping you updated in the coming months, nay year, on the progress of the alternative software Amstrad collection that I'm doing. It's going to be interesting. A lot of the games, of course, I'm testing on the live stream on Amstrad Live, game testing, of course. And I will have duplicates, of course, at the end of the day. You inevitably end up picking up duplicates. I've got 4 copies of Punch and Judy, 2 copies of Sooty and Sweep. There's a untested copy of Sooty and Sweep right there, which is not in the best condition. Out of time, press space. Okay, because that version's in better nick, but the tape inside is a bit not. Yeah, it's got like a slapdash label on it. It's not got the proper label on it, so I might create a label for that one. So what are your feelings on people that collect full sets? Do you think it's a good thing to do? Is it a collection goal that you would like to try one day yourself? I've always said I would like a full Wii U collection, but then I realised it's going to get very, very pricey, and I'm probably never going to play them. The beauty of collecting all the alternative software games is I probably will play them, all of them, because I'll test them live. And I use the Amstrad a lot. I just play old games on the Amstrad so much and getting that nostalgia hit experience all the time. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those tropes that sort of floats around in the retro gaming community, especially on YouTubers, to see full collections. And like I said, I do recommend you check out Ash81 before you on his Kicks collection progress, Mr. Bads of course on his Hit Squad collection, and there's a few others as well that I can't actually spring to mind straight away that have done Codemasters collections, full spectrum collections for Ocean. I think Mr. Bads has done that as well, a full Ocean collection. That's an interesting one. You've got high-tech software, another budget range, which, you know, not like Mastertronic, where, I mean, with Mastertronic you could go into, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, because they did the same sort of thing that obviously Alternative did. But they were so widespread, I think it would be pretty difficult to get a full Mastertronic collection. But high-tech software is certainly another one to consider. Did a lot of cartoony franchises, which was interesting. And you got Bug Bite, and you've got Bulldog, and a few others floating around. But I'm focusing on alternative software, and I will keep you updated, like I said, on Discord. If you want to check me out on the Discord, the link is in the description box, and of course on Facebook and Twitter. So yeah, that's my little talk about what my next collection target is. Full alternative software. And if you do actually, you know, find an alternative software game or collection knocking around, give me a tap up, and I'll have a butcher's. I will definitely have a look, because I'm looking to see what I can pick up at reasonable prices, obviously. Thank you very much for watching this retro waffle in the Bug Loft, and I'll see you all soon. Novabug, out.
Hey, Novabug here. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please support the channel by liking and commenting, and of course subscribing if you haven't already done. If you would like to support me further, please consider joining my Bug Army via Patreon. And also don't forget to follow me over at Facebook, Twitter, BitChute and Twitch. And finally, a very special mention to my Bug Army generals Sam M, Sweet Nannock and Pete Walker. Thank you everyone for supporting me. Novabug out.